Good morning, Holliston. Welcome to the 30th anniversary of Celebrate Holliston and to a very special first-time celebration on Central Street. After an unprecedented year off in 2020, we could not be happier to be able to celebrate here with so many community members spread out but still celebrating together. To make this day possible, so many volunteers have stepped up. We want to thank the Celebrate Holliston Committee for all their work preparing for today. A huge thank you to the auxiliary police, today's volunteer crew, our vendors that have booths here today, and a huge thank you to our generous sponsors. Thank you to the Holliston veterans for being here today to hold our flag for the national anthem. And at this time, can we please have your attention as Holliston High School senior Chloe Johann sings the national anthem.
Honor God.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Chloe. Due to the pandemic and the cancellation of last year's field day, Celebrate Holliston decided to honor our hidden heroes in 2020 who helped our community during the health crisis. Celebrate Holliston wants to thank the 2020 Holliston heroes for all they did to support the community last year. They include Megan Alexis. Megan created and organized birthday parades for hundreds of Holliston children to ensure that each child could be celebrated and see their friends on their special day. Holiday Dreams and Anthony's on the Green. Holiday Dreams partnered with Anthony's on the Green and quickly pivoted from their typical volunteer work to provide over 10,000 meals to Holliston children during the school closures. The Holliston Food Pantry. Throughout the pandemic, the pantry rallied volunteers and delivered food to over 140 families who were food insecure every week throughout the pandemic. HCAT. Spiritual healing and being connected to one's church was even more vital for so many during 2020. HCAT recorded live services from the various congregations every Sunday so anyone who was isolated and unable to attend a service in person could still feel connected. Holliston Lions Club. The Lions Club helped to deliver school lunches, food pantry supplies, and provided laptops for local hospitals so COVID patients could Zoom with family members who were not allowed in the hospital. They also delivered lunches to Holliston seniors in lieu of their annual cookout. Hold, please. Thank you to all the 2020 Holliston heroes. As you may remember from past years, each year Celebrate Holliston gathers nominations from the community and then selects 2 outstanding Holliston community members to be Citizens of the Year. These individuals are dedicated to selflessly contributing to making Holliston such a wonderful community. This year, Celebrate Holliston is elated to honor our 2021 Citizens of the Year, Heather Scarangella and Paul Saulnier. I would like to welcome Select Board Member John Cronin, Senator Karen Spilka, who is also here representing Congresswoman Catherine Clark, and last but not least, certainly Representative Carolyn Dykma.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. What a wonderful day it is to see everyone gathered for the celebration of two very worthy Holliston citizens. Again, every year we gather to recognize that as a community driven by volunteers, it's only appropriate that we step back and recognize the contributions that folks like Heather and Paul have given us. As I look out, I see at least a half a dozen staring right back at me. They're at it again. They're volunteering to make this wonderful day possible for us. So, without any further delay, let me just read the proclamation for my peers, Tina and Ben, who will be here later on. Stand by. Hopefully that doesn't fall. So, Heather, come on up. You want to hold that? That'll make my life easier. Thank you. So, Citizen of the Year, Heather Scarangella. Whereas Heather moved to Holliston in 1998 with her husband and 2 sons, and whereas Heather has given her time and talents to numerous organizations in Holliston, and whereas Heather is passionate about education and helping every student rise to the top of their potential, and whereas Heather is the former president and vice president of the elementary PTO, and whereas Heather was a member of the district planning committee and the parent representative to the Miller School Council and co-chaired the Miller School playground renovation project, and whereas Heather is on the grant committee for the Framingham Union Aid Association and a volunteer at the Salvation Army and Christian Ed Committee. Now, therefore, we, the Select Board of Holliston, do hereby on September 18th, 2021, announce that it is Heather Scarangella Day, signed by Tina Hine, Chairwoman, Ben Sparrow, Vice Chairman, and John Cronin, Clerk. Thank you very much, Heather. Congratulations. Want me to hold this for you while you make some comments? Oh, Karen first, and then you guys afterwards.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all so much for coming today. It's wonderful to be here and to see everybody in person. We take it all for granted, so thank you for being here, but please keep safe. I want to recognize Representative, my friend and partner in the State House, Representative Dykma, Select Board members. It's great to see you all here. School committee members and others, and to give a special shout out to Lena and Teresa and the whole volunteer for Celebrate Holliston. This takes so much work, and I want to thank all of you. It's great to be back here celebrating and to see everything that Holliston stands for. It's a wonderful community. We have so many people that work so hard all year round, contribute their time, energy, their wares at time to really blend the fabric of what Holliston is. And it is a true community, neighbors helping neighbors and people helping each other. And the pandemic, you know, there were some silver linings. It's tough, it was tough, it continues to be tough, but there's silver linings where it really helped continue to bring people together. So it's wonderful seeing all of you and to celebrate the terrific examples of community and people working hard to continually help make Holliston what a wonderful community that it is. So I want to congratulate. I want to say that it was great to hear you being on the PTO. I got started on the PTO, so you never know where it might lead you. I never would have guessed. I have a citation, a congressional citation from Representative Clark. Congratulations, you're going to have a lot of pieces here. And I have a Senate citation as well in honor of Heather in recognition of the joyous occasion of being named the 2021 Holliston Citizen of the Year by Celebrate Holliston, and in recognition of your outstanding service and dedication to the town and all of its residents. Congratulations. Thank you for your service and your work. Thank you. I turn it over to Representative Dykma.
Good morning, everyone, and how nice is it to be out here together as a community today? Absolutely wonderful. I just want to give a huge shout out to all of Team Celebrate Holliston here today, and I don't want to miss anyone, so I would just say anyone who is wearing a t-shirt, huge shout out to all of you for pulling this together. I think it goes without saying that so much of our lives has changed over the last couple of years, and this team, in the true silver linings, as the Senate President mentioned, has turned on a dime and brought us out here together and been innovative and creative in finding a way to bring us all together at a time when our small businesses more than ever need our support. I want to thank all of them who are out here today, to those who have sponsored this event, as well as our families and our neighbors, who we all need each other's support more than ever. And what a better way to do that than to be out here together today, seeing a lot of old friends, meeting a lot of new friends, and it's just wonderful to be a part of it. So again, thank you to the entire team for making this happen. I'm here to recognize Heather Scaringella, and Heather and I have known each other for quite a while. But 20 years, yeah, at least 20 years. But what is so special about this recognition is, even knowing Heather for this long, I did not know all of the contributions that she had made to the community over the many, many years. And I think that just speaks to how important this recognition is. There are so many people, as Selectman Cronin said, that make this town go around, if you will, that contribute in ways large and small, that make me so proud to represent Holliston, because it is truly a special place. And I think it really is a place where everyone knows your name. It's a place to come home to. It's a place to feel at home. And there's nothing more special and more meaningful than that. So to Heather, for all of your contributions, for your deep and broad role in making that happen and bringing us all together and truly touching lives of so many people over the years, thank you. And it is my honor to recognize you on behalf of the Massachusetts House of Representatives. And I will read this citation for Heather. It says, "Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House offers its sincerest congratulations to Heather Scarangella in recognition of receiving the 2021 Citizen of the Year Award and for your inspiring and dedicated service to the town of Holliston. The entire membership extends its very best wishes for future success and all good things given today at Celebrate Holliston," signed by the Speaker of the House, Ron Mariano, and Carolyn Dykema, State Representative. So from the heart, Heather, best to you and your family, and thank you for everything. Turn this over to you. Get one here. Trade that. You take that. Here, let me take that for you.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Thank you. All right, good morning, and thank you. I have to get my glasses out. Little note, like I'd like to say. First of all, I have to start by saying that in a town of people who do so much good, it certainly is heartfelt to be a part of this community. And while I'm grateful and humbled, I'm really appreciative of the so many people in our community who paved the way and who offer help towards others. There's so many of you out there, from the schools, the food pantry, our youth sports teams, our elected town committee volunteers, officials behind us, and we have organizations supporting children and families and the elderly, and also so many improvement committees in town that work to help Holliston be the community that it is. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge some of the leaders who trusted me and welcomed me into their outreach initiatives several years ago, because although you don't see them standing up here, they are right here with me, and I wouldn't even have the opportunity to do what I did without these people. And I kind of think of that book, if you give a mouse a cookie and you go on one path and down another and another, and I was thinking that as I was thinking of all the people who've really helped me. So anyway, starting with Ann Blackington, Linda King, Terry Stewart, and Linda Ween, who are all formerly of Placentino, but welcomed me into some of the projects that they were working on. Cindy Farrell, Sarah Toll, Neela Patel, Linda Schumacher, and Kristen Roberto, who represented the Holliston Early Childhood Council. Karen Jewell, Karen Pavinsky, Mike Toll, Sarah Toll, Carolyn Henderson, and our beloved late Bert Paul, who were committed to both the Christian Ed and Safe Church committees. Anna Flanagan, Jane Guilfoy, and Tara Hathaway, who were 2007 co-chairs who recruited Neela Patel and myself onto Celebrate Holliston. Catherine Burchard from HEPO, Dave Kime, Brenda Morrow, Wendy Krause, and Mary Sharon Dufault from Miller School, Donald Gray with the Miller School Playground Project, Patty Austin, who was always willing to help me with anything on HABA, Mary Lou DeStefano and Nancy King Bulger, who were formerly with the PTSA when I first joined, Mike Benedon, who was the volunteer facilitator and the project manager, for the development of the 2010-2015 Holliston School District Strategic Plan, Cheryl Ann Lambert Walsh, and our previous Holliston resident, Karen Regan, who since moved to Tennessee but recruited me onto project just because, Heidi Gibson, leader of the Holliston Foundation, the Holliston Education Foundation, Mary Beth Numbers of Embrace Culture, and Melissa Ford from Framingham Union Aid Association, and more recently, a project that we're working on for with teen health, mental wellness and health. John Camp, Ashley Maddock, Carl Corzini, John Lewandowski, Lauren Martin, Karen Jewett, and Suha Choi weaved back in with Melissa Ford, collaborating to tackle teen mental health and wellness issues in the Metro West Boston area. So really, everyone to Holliston, I'm always simply amazed at how a warm smile, a simple wave, just greeting someone actually generates the most powerful connection and contribution. And I thank you all and enjoy your day. Thank you. Behind me. Thank you. I think I never heard.
No, they're for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. They are beautiful. You step off.
Okay, thank you.
Start it over again, John.
Thank you very much. Heather, that was very well done. And I just stood here listening to all those names, and all of them could be standing here again. As a community driven by volunteers, it's a testament that Heather just grabbed in right away and got engaged. Anyone here could do that. It's a welcoming community. And to that end, let me bring forward Mr. Paul Solnier. I've known Paul, excuse me, a second. I might as well pull it up. I've known Paul for over 20 years. I got to know him when he was on the Water Commissioners years ago. Every single time you talk about an engineering initiative in town, Paul's at the front and center. Most recently, we were just talking in the street. He was talking about another volunteer project where he engineered the septic system here at Town Hall. He always steps forward. It's the same quality that every single volunteer has. They just give and give and give, and they just keep giving, and it's so admirable. So on behalf of my select board, I'd like to read the following proclamation. Bear with me one second. Yeah, Paul, if you could hold this. Oh, thanks, Karen. Proclamation, Town of Holliston, Citizen of the Year 2021, Paul Saulnier. Whereas Paul moved back to Holliston from New Jersey in 1979 with his wife and 2 sons and his collection of mini cars to be closer to family, and whereas Paul is a volunteer at the Holliston Historical Society, a past member of the Conservation Commission and the Board of Water Commissioners, and a member of the Knights of Columbus, and he designed 4 Habitat of Humanity houses, a cameraman for HCAT TV, and one of the members of the 8-Arch Bridge renovation project. And whereas Paul was also part of the Voice Committee and the former dam safety officer, and whereas Paul organizes the Father's Day breakfast and the car show, and a trustee of the Upper Charles, and whereas Paul, an engineer by trade, is a worldwide traveler, and whereas Paul was co-owner of the Holliston Reporter for over a dozen years and is known for his dry wit, commentary, in the police log, and now therefore we, the Select Board of Holliston, do hereby on September 18th, 2021, announce that it is Paul Solnier Day. Congratulations, Paul. On behalf of Christina Hine, Ben Sparrow, and John Cronin. There you go, Paul. Warmest congratulations. You get this when you wrap it up.
Nope. Soon enough. Yes. I just also want to thank Paul. You hear, I won't reiterate all that he has done for the town and Metro West, but what struck me is as soon as he came back here many years ago, immediately dug in and has made the infrastructure of Holliston, literally with his engineering skills stronger, his volunteer work stronger, his reporting stronger. I mean, the print and does media is still, I believe, the foundation of our democracy in getting the word out. So on so many levels, literally and figuratively, his work has made Holliston so much stronger, and for that we thank you. Really, it's been an amazing journey. So I also have a citation from Congresswoman Clark as well as a Senate citation similar to what Carolyn and I read as well, so I won't read the whole thing, but it's extending congratulations, the Senate's extending congratulations to you on the joyous occasion of being named 2021 Holliston Citizen of the Year by Celebrate Holliston, and recognizing your really superlative and outstanding service and dedication to the town. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I invite Representative Dykema up. To hunt over there, so. We'll give it to you afterwards.
Thank you, Senate President Spilka. So I have a wealth of riches here today because I get to recognize two people that I consider friends that I have known for many, many years. And I just want to recognize Heather. Of course, Heather took her moment at the microphone to recognize others and all the work they do. And I think that is just really a testament to who she is. And why she's so deserving of this award. So thank you, Heather. So Paul Solnier and I go way back. For those of you who remember the sewer conversation here in Holliston, that was where Paul and I originally met. Paul, as has been said, is an engineer, and so he was very involved in kind of advising the town on sewer options back in the day, 1999-ish, late 90s. So I was a new resident to Holliston, and I got involved, and I can't even tell Paul how much he taught me about engineering, about local government, and really was so incredibly encouraging to me, and I know to many, many others, to get involved and kind of leave your mark in this town. And so, Paul, personal thank you to you from me for that. There's so much, there's a list of things that Paul has done. I know for a fact there's more. Have a personal connection to Paul, who supervised my son, who got his Eagle Scout in doing some work on the Upper Charles Trail, put in a tremendous amount of time for that. So Paul just never says no, basically. So if you need anything done, Paul, I'm sorry to do this to you, but Paul's your guy. So from the heart, Paul, for all you have done and for all you continue to do for this town, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Paul Solnier in recognition of receiving the 2021 Citizen of the Year Award and for your inspiring, dedicated service to the town of Holliston. And I would be remiss if I did not recognize his wife, Nancy, who has shared Paul with this community for many, many, many hours that I know. So, Nancy, to you for your service to the community as well. Thank you. Signed by the Speaker of the House, Ron Mariano, and Carolyn Dykema, State Representative. So, Paul, congratulations, and thank you for all you do.
Take a deep breath. Where's Roberta Weiner when I need her? Thank you all for the kind words. I'm really honored to be recognized for my volunteering work, but I've got a confession to make. I did it for me. While living in exile in New Jersey for 9 years, 5 months, and 13 days, I realized how much I missed New England. If Cherry Hill, New Jersey had a town hall, I never saw it. I knew my neighbors and I knew my co-workers, but I felt isolated and really not connected. And they talk funny down there. So volunteering in Holliston has really helped me to feel like I'm part of this community. Here we decide how we're governed and how our local taxes are spent. And all the volunteer organizations in town contribute in some way to the well-being of Holliston. By your presence here today, you have indicated also an interest in Holliston. Many of you, I see, volunteer probably more than I do. And the opportunities are endless. If you have kids in school, get involved in the school system, as Heather did. If you're new to town, join the newcomers. They'll help direct you to something that you can find to do. If you're interested in conservation and preserving wetlands, join the Conservation Commission. If you want to learn more about Holliston and help preserve its history, join the Historical Society. If you feel that you really have no expertise and really can't make a contribution of any value whatsoever, run for the select board. So yes, we're all very busy, but an hour or two a week will really help you feel at home here, and eventually you'll be where everybody knows your name. Thank you, and God bless Holliston.
Nice job.
Paul, do you want to come to this? In closing, you can see Central Street is full today. We have over 85 local vendors here. Please try to visit them all and their unique offerings. And our neighborhood eateries and resident performers will be in the street today as well. The children's offerings for today include a photo booth to my left. At the end of the street, you can get a scavenger hunt map to local businesses, and everyone wins a prize. Down at Blair Square, we have tie-dye. What do we have? And our amazing booth vendors have some great free crafts and snacks at their individual booths today. You can find the portable bathrooms in the center of Central Street behind me, behind the fire station, as well as our snack and food options. We encourage you to visit the local businesses that have food and drinks available today. And right here to my right, we have the Celebrate Holliston booth if you need anything. Thank you all for being here, and enjoy your day on Central Street.
Good morning, Holliston. This is Heartbeat of Holliston at Celebrate Holliston. I don't know if they're bonus points for how many times I can say Holliston, but I just got them. Anyway, we're with Heather Scarangella, who has been named Citizen of the Year. Welcome and thank you so much. Your speech was wonderful. During her speech and her remarks, Heather listed a bunch of people that had been influential in getting her involved and who had worked with her over the years. And I found it very touching, because you're absolutely right. There are so many people who do so much.
Thank you. I felt like they had to be in my pocket with me. So yeah. Even if they weren't standing up with me, they wanted to acknowledge them, and they're here too. But Mary, there's so many other people I could acknowledge
Right,
as well,
I know. It's a long list.
Yes.
So what was the first thing that you got into?
So I think the first thing in Holliston, I remember actually was at the church. I got involved in with the Christian Ed Committee and doing some stuff for the Salvation Army. And then I wasn't kidding in the speech. I mentioned like the book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. And I felt like the one volunteer effort led to another, which led to another, that at the time weren't necessarily connected, but sort of grew. And then I got involved with the schools. And then from the schools got involved with doing some work with the Mass AEC on scholarships for children to provide preschool so their parents could work and so forth. And then from there, I think I worked on the playground project with Donald Gray, and more recent jumped into Embrace Culture with Mary Beth Numbers. But yep. Each path is kind of all focused on education, I'd say, and helping young kids and teens.
I think it's amazing, but I also know how the experience goes. You meet someone, and that someone leads you someplace else. It really is a contagion. In fact, it was 30 years ago today, or this month, that we did the first Celebrate Holliston. 30 years, and I was at that first one, and it's like, wow, I'm still here, you know? It's amazing. So tell me, what did you feel when you first heard that you've been asked or nominated and then named Citizen of the Year?
Sure. I was a little bit in awe and a little bit shy about this. I guess, and I think, again, what came to my mind is all these people who are also volunteering and who also kind of helped me be where I am in terms of the opportunities that I've had. And the other thing I was thinking, it's funny because Paul, actually, we didn't know this at the time, but we each kind of like have a connection to the Cheers song, the theme song from Cheers.
Yeah.
And that was going through my head because you do want to be in a place where everybody knows your name. And even though we do all have differences, but we do share a common bond in terms of the community that we live in and want to support one another. So that song just kept running through my head.
Yeah, we should remember. I was going to say we should make sure that we're going to have the editor make sure we tap in a little bit of that if we can without going to jail. Anyway, copyrights and all that. So in the very first place, what made you even think about volunteering? It's that, how do you get that first step? And I think for newcomers sometimes, if you're in a new place or whatever, how did you get started?
Right. Well, I think some was sort of innate in terms of, well, not the volunteer piece, but like I love listening to people and I love diverse experiences, and I've lived in several places, and so when I came here and I would ask people, oh, well, where did you grow up and where are you from and what's your story? And just from that, as I listened to kind of volunteer efforts that other people were involved in, that just led me kind of a magnetic type of connection that I was interested in doing what they were doing. And I also then had more chance to meet more people and
well, you've certainly
different stories.
You've certainly mushroomed in terms of how many people you've met and how many things you've done. Anything in the future, horizons?
Oh, I mean, if I can put a plug, we're running our annual fundraiser for Embrace Culture. We're doing a cooking demonstration on December 1st, which I know, you're involved with as well, of course. And a project that I've been working on over the past couple of years is a grant project, and it's been slow only because we're doing a lot of experiential learning with it, but trying to attack, just like everyone else, for teens, mental health and wellness, and we're working, we've partnered now, we have a grant, we're partnering with, it's a nonprofit in California called Body Positive, but we're bringing it here to the Metro West area and want to start with letting teens actually run this and start doing some workshops. And we're we're a year and a half in, but I have some students who have been trained in it already. And we're hoping to really make an impact in the Metro West area with that project.
What does Holliston mean to you and to your family?
So much. So my husband and I, we moved here when we were married in 98 and we moved here in 98. And Stephen he worked at EMC, which was so close. I traveled, so I found TF Green Airport because I was gone every week. And we thought we'd be here 3 to 5 years, and so that was back in 98. And we love the close-knit community, the really people do know each other. We're all connected somehow, and through the school that people in the schools have been so good to my kids. Everyone's kids, but we just made a nice connection.
That's wonderful. Now, I would like to tell you that there is a vacancy on the Holliston Cable Access Television board if you're ever interested in getting into that connection.
I actually wanted to get into broadcasting.
Well, this is your opportunity.
It's a TV show, right?
Well, our station manager, Bruce Guilfoy, actually went to college for this kind of video and filmmaking and that kind of stuff, and we recruited him as a volunteer to begin with, and now this is his job, so cool. You never know where it will go. So,
right.
But again, congratulations, Heather. I think we made a great choice this year, and thank you for so much for what you do for Holliston.
And I know you've also been Citizen of the Year, and you're a tough act to follow.
Not at all, but thank you. Keep up the good work. Thanks, folks. We'll be back to you with our Citizen of the Year number 2, Mr. Paul Saulnier. Hi, and now we're going to interview Paul Sonja, who was the Citizen of the Year, along with Heather. Paul, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, so tell us about yourself, just briefly.
I've been in town since 1979, right? My kids went through the school system here. They're all healthy, and now we have 3 grandchildren, and we really enjoy it here. This is home for us.
And I loved your comments because you said you felt so isolated in New Jersey that you wanted to get back to where you could feel connected. I can understand that.
Yeah, really, that's really what it was. And it only took about a year before we realized that and started trying to come back. So we really did want to come back, and then I vowed that when I came back, I was going to start volunteering for something. And I didn't even have to speak up. Somehow Frank Reese found out I was in town, so knew I was a civil engineer, and he dragged me on to the Conservation Commission.
Now, that's a name I had forgotten for briefly, but yes, conservation, as soon as you said it, it was like, haha, Conservation Commission, and there it goes. I think oftentimes it is a recruitment issue, and I have a saying that I say to everybody, ask people to participate, because very often they will if you ask. They just don't know enough to step forward.
Yeah, I agree. I think when you're on a board, it's part of your job is to recruit other people, especially the selectmen. If you've been around long enough, you know a lot of people, something needs to get done, you start making some calls. And you're right, that's part of it.
Why did you choose to volunteer? I think you've said that it was that you wanted to get connected. What convinced you to remain active?
I never learned how to say no.
Our advantage.
So every time I did something, it just felt good for me. Unlike Heather, I really wasn't helping people per se. She did a lot of good for a lot of people. I don't know that I did any good for any individuals, but the work I did helped the town, I think, and help residents.
It's funny. I was thinking that about Heather too, because I've not volunteered in those sort of hands-on groups, the social service and human caring. But yeah, it's different. It's different. Anyway, how would you welcome new people to town? Somebody moves to town, what would you do?
Thank you.
Hey, how are you? As you can see, we're right on the street, and lots of folks are coming and going. So, what can you do but say hello?
That's a hard one, really. One of the things I do is look through the real estate transfers. I do it for the Historical Society to try to get new members, and if we can get people to, if I find, just like Frank Reese did with me, find out what their expertise is and trying to talk them into something. And I've done that 2 or 3 times now, but not as much as I should. I wish I could do more.
No, but that's a really, really good idea. That is a really good idea. So what does a community mean to you, and are there improvements that you would like to see?
Well, the community means to me, it is me. I'm part of the community. It really is me and my wife and my family. And as far as improvements, we're always improving. We get new members on the various boards. They have new ideas. They're all good. I'm no longer involved in the school system, but I know there's plenty of people like Heather getting involved. I'm sure it's all going well. I love the way it's turning out. I wouldn't change a thing.
I'm so glad to hear you say that. All right, folks, that's Paul Saulnier, this year's Citizen of the Year. Thank you very much for stopping by Heartbeat of Holliston, and we'll see you down the street here.
Yes, we will. Thanks very much, Mary.
Thank you.